live.
Perfect.
Oh, Alaana, I lost you.
She joined the room again, it says.
Yep, I got her. All right. Send to live. Yes. Okay. In 10. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to LIFEBEAT, Conversations with Purposeful Women, live on Twitch. I'm Lizzie Wan. I am your host. If anybody is joining us, please join us in the chat so that we know that you're there. I'd like to welcome my guests, but before I do that, I want to thank Puna Press Live. This is their channel, and I am an author on Puna Press, which is a San Diego publishing house, small press. And Ted Washington is the owner and founder of Puna Press, and he invited his authors on the press to do these TV shows. And so there's been one already, and I'm the second one going. And so to kick things off, I wanted to read one poem from my book, which is called The Hospice Bubble and Other Devastating Affirmations.
What a great title.
Thank you. And this is called Hole in the Floor Mat. My driver's side floor mat has a hole where my right heel has worried through the fabric. I don't know how long my heel has worked to accomplish this feat. I have noticed it slowly growing. I have rearranged the floor mat to slow its growth. But it always inches back to the spot where my heel rests in the hole. What else in my life has sustained such pressure to have altered its appearance? What part of me has such sustained pressure to cause that alteration? For some, pressure is intangible. For some, intangible is pressure. All right.
Yeah, Lizzie.
Thank you. Okay, so also before we get started, I want to make this personal statement that Black Lives Matter, science is real, trans, women's, and LGBTQ rights are human rights, and where I sit right now, I sit on Keech or Tongva land. And I learned that there's this cool app that you can text your city and state to, and it will respond with the land that you are on, what tribe's land you're on. And that number is 907-312-5085. I can put that in the chat if anybody's interested in that.
Cool.
Yeah, please.
So now, what's up?
Yeah, please do put that in the chat.
I will, for sure. So I want to introduce my guests. First, we have Skyler McCurine, who is an advocate for equal pay, an entrepreneur, a coach, a speaker. She's based in San Diego. You can find more about her at layredballoon.com. Let's see. Sorry, we lost Alaana again. Also, Lindsay White. Wave your hand. She's a singer-songwriter, an advocate for mental health, mutual aid, and more. The founder of Lady Brain. She's based in San Diego, and you can find more about her at lindsaywhitemusic.com. Oh no. My computer is attempting to reconnect. Okay, are you all still there?
Yep.
Yes.
Alaana.
Are you there, Alaana?
I think so.
All right, let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. And you are my next introduction, Alaana Airitam, who is a visual artist whose practice is focused on researching historical and contemporary narratives of stereotypes, representation, identity, and heritage through portraiture. She is based in Tucson, And you can find more about her at alaana.airitam.com. All right. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Real good. Excited
Good.
to sit down with Alaana. I haven't seen her in such a long time. And Lindsay, I feel like I've heard your name or met you somewhere, but it's nice to meet you, and I'm
You
looking forward to
too.
hearing what you share.
Thanks. Same as well for y'all.
And again, if you're joining us, please let us know that you're here in the chat. We'll try to engage there if possible. Again, this is the debut show of LIFEBEAT, Conversations with Purposeful Women. And so I wanted to start off with just some lightning round questions, if you're up for that.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, what are you currently reading, listening to, or binge watching? It can be all three or one, whatever you want. Lindsay, why don't you go first?
I'm actually reading Children of Virtue and Vengeance by
Oh,
Tony
nice.
Ediemi. It's the second in her Children of Blood and Bone series, and
Yeah.
it's young adult, but it's still fun, and it's fun to travel in your mind to another intense society that is not this one. So yeah, I'm digging on that right now.
Right on.
Yeah,
I loved her first book.
yeah, it was really good.
How about you, Skyler?
Let's see. I am re-listening to The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, and every kind of like couple of months or when I really need it, I listen to like ancestors telling stories about how they navigate hard things. So I've been listening to that, and I've been watching, binge listening to Crime Junkie and I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which was absolutely
Ooh.
incredible. The way that they like Michelle McNamara, just incredible writer, and also just a insane level of commitment, and the storytelling is just so badass. So I would recommend that to like any and everyone. And also, I've been watching historical roasts on Netflix with Jeff Ross when
Oh
I
yeah.
need something to laugh, and I've been enjoying that.
I have not heard of historical roasts.
It's pretty dope. I mean, it's like really edgy, but I like it because it's like, so you have all these different actors that dress up as famous historical characters, and then they roast, like Anne Frank, Martin Luther King Jr., but in these like really brilliant ways where you're learning about history. They're punching across, not down, and at the same time tying it to today. And then, the dais is built so that the people on the panel are like have actually had weird or random interactions with that person in history. So you get to hear about those weird interactions. So I think it's actually like really clever. And as he said, like this is the end of my career after I roast Anne Frank, but they it's so brilliant. Like it's so brilliant. I've really been enjoying it. I think it's like a really powerful look of like what comedy can look like when it's done in that way, where you can talk about controversial hard things, but again, it's like punching across.
Yeah, sort of like Drunk History. I've been watching some of those videos on Facebook.
Yeah, those are fun.
Okay,
I like
hold
that's a
on.
good show too.
Yeah. Bringing Alaana back in. Are you with us, Alaana? Oh, this 21st century technology. It's not for everyone, including
It's a
me.
2020 technology day.
Yeah, she keeps, right? She keeps getting booted out of the room, unfortunately. So we'll go back to her for that. The next question I had is, during this wonderful quarantine we have you developed any sort of new habits, hobbies, causes? I heard a lot about sourdough. People were making sourdough a lot. I don't know. So What have you been doing to get through these last 5 months? Anybody?
I'll take it. On a personal level, just really trying to focus on wellness, and I don't just mean like do your nails and call it wellness, but I mean like really like stripping away like all the layers of BS that we wear as we try to like trudge through the hamster wheel of society, pre this year, and so by wellness, just like really exercising every day, making it a point to exercise, making it a point to spend time with my wife, making, just like really honing in on those very simple things that fill you up. And then since this pandemic has happened, I had already kind of been working full force on Lady Brain, which is like a creative women's collective, but I got more into food justice, and that's through this mutual aid group here in San Diego called We All We Got SD, which is led and organized by like really powerhouse activist people here in San Diego. Christina Griffin Jones, DJ Cuttin Candy, Karina and Jen Frost Moreno, Kelsey Daniels, just like inspirational people, and been really getting into that and learning a lot. And it's uplifting and it's heartbreaking at the same time, but it has like more of an immediate impact. I think is more direct. It's more directly serving our community right now during this time, and that feels good to be a part of.
Right on.
Yeah.
Skylar, how about you? What have you been doing these past 5 months
Well, I started a new
to make your
job on.
COVID life?
Oh yeah. Well, let's see. Other than gain and lose like anywhere from 7 to 12 fun pounds on any given week, I started a new job March 16th, and it's been a wild ride because I started at Merrill Lynch in their financial advisor program as like a second half to the salary negotiation work that I've been doing for the past couple of years. And so my program was put on pause for now, and I've been working on PPP loans. So that has been a very wild, rich, and unexpected ride. And focused on the trying to get 500 people to earn $5 million in salary increases over the next 5 equal pay days, and just trying to love up on my Nana who passed on Monday, and at our home,
Oh,
surrounded in love from all of us. And, just honestly, like trying to show up as best I can for the people I love, and also just trying to find new ways of life on life's terms, because like the things that we normally find sanctuary in, we can't access right now. So what does it look like? So I've been in the water a lot. Just like I just came from the water because I've just been sweating torrentially for about maybe 17 days. It's the only thing I can do to keep cool. And that, for the most part, is what I've been up to.
yeah. Well, we're going to talk more about their Close the Pay Gap series here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But I want to get to Alaana since, unfortunately, you kind of dropped out for a second there. You missed the first question, which was, what are you currently binge watching, reading, or listening to?
I'm having a really hard time hearing you guys. I don't know if you can hear me at all. Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm missing a lot of what you are all saying. And Skylar, I'm so sorry for your loss. I did catch that part. But I think maybe I'm having some technical issues over here. I'm going to try to I'm going to try to listen and answer your questions as best I can. So I guess over the past pandemic, this past 5 months over this pandemic,
Okay.
this one, the next one. I've been taking the time to organize.
Oh,
Oh man.
darn it.
Darn.
Okay. Well, we will
We're doing
get
our
back to
best here. We're
Alaana.
doing our best.
Yeah.
That's right, people. This is live. This is happening now in real time. I don't know what's going on. I'm doing the best I can.
You're doing great,
That's
Liz.
all right. We bob and weave.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we pivot.
So, Skylar, let's get back to you. Can you talk a little bit more about your Close the Pay Gap series that you started, that you had your last one last week, I think, right?
Yes, I did. So, a mentor of mine who, was super generous and what to me is now like a benchmark of what allyship looks like, said, why don't you let me help you negotiate for this gig that I had booked? And it was for La Jolla International Fashion Film Festival. It covers like fashion film is kind of like this weird combination of like cinematography and then like filmmaking, but they're like commercials. They're really
Can you hear
small.
me?
Like some commercials you watch and you're like, wow, it has like its own
Yeah.
score, its wardrobe, its own all of this. And so it's that genre. And so it's this really cool thing where they have, people from all around the world. You've got like people from these huge positions at these huge organizations are there. And the job paid $500. And so Anne Marie, who's my mentor in that work, told me, okay, I'm going to help you coach you through. So she wrote a script on a whiteboard while I was just stress sweating over the phone because I thought I'd rather die than have to have a conversation around money with these people. Like I hate this feeling every single time. And so I was just like, kind of throwing my power away because I just wanted it to be over. And so in that call, I realized like the balance of power went from like this to balanced. And we were like, we have to teach this as many human beings as possible. Not everyone can afford like a private coaching session, right? Like not everyone can do that. So how do you scale that learning and make it as accessible as possible? So we did 3 classes in San Diego, and like each time our focus was to kind of like double the amount of attendees. And so now I kind of took the baton, and so this next year, that's my goal, is to help 500 people advocate for like cumulatively $5 million. I wish $5 million one day, not yet. $5 million in salary increases and in compensation packages and in certifications, etc. So that's my goal for this next year. So just trying to
Yeah,
put
that's
myself
awesome.
out there and do it, and we're gonna get it
Yeah.
done.
So, how did your session go last week?
It was great. We had my runway was about like a week because I had to finish like we have a lot of stuff going on at the house, but the next 5 paydays, we're going to double like each time, so that's really exciting. And the thing too is that you come to class, you don't walk away with, oh, this was so inspirational and it's nice. It's like, well, that's all sweet and dandy, but we care about impact. If you invest this hour and 30 minutes in yourself, it's like the education is like the biggest gift ever. It's not, it's like people think it's the money, as Anne Marie would always say. It's like people think they're getting the money. It's not the money, it's the education, because everything in your life changes after that. You start asking yourself, like, why am I saying yes when I'm tired? Or like, why am I cooking dinner
Mm,
5 nights a week, 3 weeks out of the month, every single month? Why is my church not compensating me for them asking me to do like use my talents to like help fundraise? It shows up in all these
mm.
big and little ways. So um doing that, well, I'm the very person that like this work was for. So I just can't wait to get it to as many people as possible. And every single time a person registers, it's like my anxiety goes down. I'm like, okay, that's one more.
That's awesome. I want to change the real Alaana. Are you with us, Alaana?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not
Let's give it another shot.
you're I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time hearing you.
Go ahead and talk about what you've been doing during the pandemic.
Okay. Yes, so doing a lot of organizing and re-strategizing for my work. Just trying to backpedal a little bit and build a foundation underneath this rocket ship that has been taking off for me, which is amazing. But as it continues to grow, it has been feeling like it's been getting a little bit out of my control and out of my hands. And so I've taken the time during this pandemic to just focus on getting that together, get the website updated, things like that, and working on some new work. So I don't know if you heard before, the new triptych that I just finished is now going out to some of the galleries, and I'm researching a new project that will have me living in North Carolina for a few months on the land that my ancestors were enslaved on. And it's kind of an interesting story in that my aunts now own that land, and it's over
Oh,
6,000 acres, and it's pretty amazing. And the story that I have right now is that my great great grandfather, maybe great great grandfather, lived on that land. He was the product of the rape of one of my I guess great 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 grandmother, and the slave owner, the plantation owner there. And so when he grew up, he would go next door to the neighboring plantation and hook up with the plantation owner's daughter. They fell in love, ran away to Pennsylvania, and got married, which is where the modern family came from. So I'm going back to these lands, and the houses are still there, and the property is still all there. And so I've got these two neighboring um, houses and land that I'll be sort of working with, and it's pretty powerful to stand on that ground. So yeah, so I'll be living
Sis,
inside of one of the houses.
crazy. That is
It's really
crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
Wow.
I'll be living inside of one of these houses for a few months, which feels incredibly haunted. um, and yeah, just gathering documentation, obviously doing some photography out there. But I think I feel pretty certain that what I'm going to be gathering out there is much, much more than just photography, but a whole lot more. The stories are so alive on that ground.
Woo.
So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Dude, that's so dope, Alaana. My God, I can't even. That is so crazy. That is amazing. Like, how you have people out there? You have other people out
Yeah,
there?
just my aunts who live there on the 6,000 acres. Um, I the short amount of time that I was able to spend there already, I gathered up some documents. I found the document that is filed with the city or the town, which I think it's less than 1,000 people, or at least it was in the last census. There's less than 1,000 people in this town. It's super small. And the deed or the document is a document of property. And so on this document, it says how many acres they owned, how much cattle, the crops that they grew, obviously the people. And so there's just a lot. There's a lot there. There was over 125 people enslaved on that property. Just that one property. So not even the neighboring property, which I haven't even begun to look into. But my goal there is to link the two together and get the stories from both lands.
Mm. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Wow. We lose our host.
I think so.
Wow. Alaana, what do you need from us to support you in that work? What tangible things
Oh,
do you
thanks.
need?
I'm not really sure. I know that I want to do outside of photography. I definitely want to do some oral history.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be conducting interviews with not just my aunts, but other people who live in the town. I'm going to try to dig
Mm-hmm.
up um, the history of the other people who have lived in this town and see how they're all connected. There's
Mm-hmm.
a cemetery, a small cemetery on one of the properties there, and because the town is so small, like I'm sure there's so much connection, and I'm really interested in reaching out to people there and understanding how everyone is connected in this tiny town. It's going to be pretty
Wow.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know what I'm going to need yet. I know
Okay.
that I need to look into recording devices. I want to definitely gather up artifacts. Um,
You
yeah, not sure. I think
not
I think I will know more once I get there.
yes. Not to flood you with like things of like this was great because I can't stand that. It's like, listen, I'm like however, I want to say StoryCorp is really amazing because my understanding is that they send you those materials and I could see them really like giving you what you need. So just as an idea, I'd plant
Hmm.
the seed.
StoryCorps.
Yeah, StoryCorp in New York. That's what they that's all they do. They like catalog stories and they have these people who go out with recorders and they just like talk to different people and then they store those stories in the library. And so I could see them really not just supporting you from like a logistical perspective, but like also in amplifying that incredible work that you're doing.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and actually, now that you mentioned it, I believe I met a woman who is a oral historian that might work for them, if I remember correctly. I met her
Yes.
in January, so I'll reach out to her and see what she thinks about that. And there's also a couple of other. There's the slave dwelling organization. What is it called? Uh, it might actually be slave dwelling org. I'm not sure, but they are responsible for making sure that those types of buildings stay in existence.
Mm-hmm.
My big goal for this project is to purchase the piece of property. So my aunts own the land on the Davis plantation. There's the neighboring plantation, which is the Allen plantation, and that is owned by somebody completely different. But the houses are still there. And my goal is to buy just that bit of property that has the houses on it because it's not being kept up or anything like that, and those
Mm-hmm.
houses are
Mm-hmm.
going to fall apart. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to secure that for historical purposes. I mean, not just for my family, but I feel like it's just a piece of history that we need. And so, if I can't raise the money to buy that myself, then I'm going to reach out to them and see if they can help with that.
Beautiful. Well, you know what? We're it's always like the way that it is. It's the way it's meant to be. So we got Lizzie's back. We'll just finish talking after this one. Lizzie, like, so talk to us about like what you've been up to. Like, what are you doing? Like, share your treasures.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I love the way that you're just like taking over as our hostess. Thank you for that. Um,
Can you talk a little louder? I don't know what. Why can't I hear? Is that me?
yeah, is it? Well, I don't know. I have like a three fans going, so it probably is not helping. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. So super muffled.
Oh no. I don't know what to do. No, they just can't hear me. My wife's like, "What's going on?"
Can you take your headphones out?
I'll try that, but I feel like my volume's worse. Let me. Is that better or worse?
It's the same.
No.
Yeah.
Technology is designed to enrage you. I'm telling you, like it is.
We're having a day here. Basically, I am just trying to keep the wheels on, like the wheels on our creative women's collective, and everything that we did prior to the pandemic was based on being in physical spaces together. And so now shifting that on its head into a virtual space has been a little challenging, especially now that a lot of our women identified creative members are thinking about how they're going to survive, not necessarily like what they need for publicity or like, some of the workshops we were doing before this. So it's been challenging to know what the needs are, knowing that the needs are so different, and the fact that we can only try to meet them virtually. But we're doing our best. We just had a really good workshop last night with Mona Tavakoli, who is this percussionist based in LA. And she was just really uplifting and talking about showing up authentically in your career and for social justice and all these things that I just feel like we're really good to gather in a space and hear for once when everybody feels so isolated right now. So we're doing our thing. We're trying to just kind of keep the lights on, and practice this this patience that I want to make sure that the workshops continue and the opportunities to showcase people's work continues. But if people can't come to the workshop because they have other needs right now, or if people don't really feel like showcasing their work right now, like that's okay. I just want to continue to kind of like keep the mic on for when people do want to do that. So yeah, that's basically what we've been doing with Lady Brain.
Wow, how many artists are like in your community, or what are some of the projects or that they are working on or doing?
We have like at this point, I think our private Facebook group is like over 100. We have about between like maybe like 20-ish that are like actively showing up on a regular basis to the majority of the events. We just did our virtual version of our film festival, which was supposed to be like our big annual festival for the year. And we just did what we could. It was hard to kind of envision this big event that kind of slowly but surely over the months dwindled down into this blog post essentially. But we still wanted to make sure to highlight the work that these creators are doing however we can. Everything just looks a lot different right now.
Right.
Yeah, but this isn't going to last forever. So hopefully we can just kind of keep trucking until we're back into the reality of being able to gather again. Yeah.
What is like one thing that you guys miss the most about? What do you miss the most, and what is something that you got or you've gotten to do that's different since being isolated with your own self and family for 5 months?
I miss my friends. I do. I never thought that I would miss San Diego as much as I do. But I do. And part of it is that I moved here to Tucson, and I didn't really get a full chance to acclimate and like ground in and build a community here or anything like that before all of this happened. And so it just feels very isolating and like I can't even like sneak away and go sit in my friend's backyard and drink wine or anything, So I've just been working a lot to keep myself busy and occupied and basically binging everything on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Amazon Prime. I got all the logins, So for me, it's people, my friends. I miss that the most. What about you?
I miss going to like a restaurant with like 2 or 3 people and then just eating there for like hours. I miss that, and I miss house parties. I miss house parties, and I miss getting dressed up. Like on occasion, I would just, like I need to, so I'll like put an outfit on or whatever. But it's like I'm just going from essential place to essential place in a fucking outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to go to the post office? I'll go to the post office. You want me to go? I'll go. So, I miss that. Like I miss a nice long meal with good people. Let's see what else. Something good that I've adopted. Something good I've adopted. Let me think about something good, because I've adopted a lot of things. Not all of them are great. Good. Okay. You know what? It's I've been FaceTiming. Okay, I've always been like a super FaceTimer. Like it's something annoying for like most people before quarantine. They're always thinking I'm butt dialing them. It's like, no, I meant to actually FaceTime you. That was but,
I know this about you.
But I've been talking to my nieces a lot, like, which has been nice just to see their little face. Our host is back. Yes. Don't worry, we've been rolling with those questions you sent us. We've been keeping it.
Skyler held it down.
I know.
Wi-Fi rocked you.
I know. I could hear everything, and I was like trying to get on, but it wasn't happening. But I'm here now.
I lost you guys again.
Oh no!
It's like who's on third? It's like we can't all be in the same space together.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Are you guys here?
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you.
We can see you too.
Okay. You can't see me?
We can.
We can.
Oh, you can. Okay.
So my apologies, everybody. I really apologize, but
everyone else is frozen.
Let's try to do
another day in quarantine.
Okay.
It's like we're here, we're having it, and at least it's good, because then other people can also like see, like, this is what happens. This is just what happens. This is the way it are.
I'm gonna try to refresh again to see if Alaana will come in. Hello. Everybody here?
Lindsay, are you there? Hey, Lindsay, can you hear me? You can? I can't hear you.
Yeah. We hear you. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I can hear.
And I know there's people listening. Somebody just texted me.
Oh no!
And said, we can hear Lindsay. We can hear. We have fans. We have so many fans, and they can hear
us. I'm so happy they're staying with us.
Yeah.
Okay, who can hear Lizzie?
Is there anything in the chat? Oh, there is.
All of you are heard. All of us. They can hear all of us, and they can see all of us.
Yay.
So all right.
If we can't hear each other, that's fine. We'll bob and weave.
All right. So I don't know what y'all talked about. I apologize because I was on the phone with people with Ted trying to figure it out. So I'm going to ask this question because I don't know if anybody's answered this yet. But what is bringing you joy?
Enjoy.
I can go with that.
Go with it.
Okay. I'm saying 100%. It's my wife, Audrey. The the truth is, like, every aspect of life right now is super shaky, but the exception is my marriage, and I feel like, because my basic needs, health, housing, food, are relatively okay. I've kind of had a privilege to be able to, like, do this, like, deep diving of self-love, and she kind of, like, has helped guide me through that, and as all the crap layers of life that have been peeling off of me go away, all I see is her, and it's just the strength and love and trust that's just kind of, like, emanating from her, and I feel really at peace with her, and I've become really fierce with our boundaries. Like, we used to sort of plan our time together around all the other shit in our lives, and now we plan all the other shit in our lives around our time together. And
Awesome.
in that sense, I think the pandemic has helped me, like, cut a lot of that, like, go bullshit out. That was, like, really getting in the way of loving people and being loved. And I think the same is true with my sister too. Just making more intentional time together. We're FaceTiming every day. We never did that before, even though we were really close before the pandemic. So just really, those meaningful relationships are bringing me joy.
Awesome. How about you, Alaana? Or Skylar? I don't know who can hear me.
All right, what's been bringing me joy? Let's see. I've been for real. What's been bringing me joy is seeing all my little sweeties on the phone when I call them on FaceTime. Seeing how they're, like, doing, like, creative things and still being little kids, even though they're, like, in a dumpster fire of a school year. And swimming has been bringing me a lot of joy because, it's just been so fucking hot. It's so hot. Just, like, hot. So it's the only way I can get my body, like, cooled down and kind of, like, resets my whole spirit. So that's been, like, really nice. And like, I feel like the one thing that quarantine's definitely given me is, like, an appreciation for things they're huge things, but they seem small. And so, little things like it's like, for real, like, kissing my family, that means everything. It just does. It means everything in a way it didn't before. So I also bought something from the Nordstrom's anniversary sale because that brings me joy. Even though I've been doing customer service for almost, like, 72 hours, so it's like that's not bringing me joy. But my lava-colored Lego slides, that's joy.
I lost all of you guys again.
That's all right. That's all right. Because
You're
I know
just in time.
that people can hear us because they text. They can hear us all, so that's fine.
Yep.
We'll make it work. Tim Gunn, make
All
it
right.
work.
Make it work.
So, Alaana, what brings you joy? Skylar, she can hear you, so maybe you should ask her.
Oh yeah, Alaana, what brings you joy, boo? What's
don't
bringing
even
you
know.
joy? Alaana, Airitam. I'm gonna just text her and say, "What brings you joy?" in all caps.
Be like FaceTimer.
Oh my gosh.
I can't hear anybody. Oh wait,
Alaana,
who is that? Lindsay?
What brings you joy?
Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, what brings you joy?
I can hear anyone else, and I can't. Everyone else is frozen.
Everyone in the world wants to know what's bringing you joy right now.
Not this computer. Uh, I think, like you, I would have to say the most reliable source of bliss in my life at the moment has been my relationship. And, I don't think I'm a pretty independent person. I don't think I've ever been locked into a place with another human being 24/7 for 5 months straight. But it's been amazing, and we've gotten really close, and we've been able to get to know each other on a completely different level, and we're working together. We've been dabbling in some collaborations, so that's been fun, and just doing simple things. And I agree with what you were saying, Lindsay, about how easy it was prior to all this to just go, and then try to squeeze in the relationship wherever it can fit in. And it just feels really nice for it to be quite the opposite, and we really kind of take all our needs into consideration more before work, or it just reprioritized a lot of things. And also with my family, I feel much closer to them, even though, I haven't seen them in so long, and there is such a distance now, but we regularly Zoom call or Skype or something, and I get to see my nieces and nephews, and it's just I think we just feel like it's important to keep up with each other and check in on each other a lot more these days. So that's bringing us all a lot closer, and it's just been wonderful. Like, it just feels so good. So yeah, that's been a huge source of happiness and bliss in my life during all of this. Don't know if you heard any of that.
I heard all of that.
We did.
Awesome.
It was gorgeous. We heard it all.
Okay.
We heard it all.
I don't know if you can hear me or ever.
I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I heard Alaana. I'm gonna wrap this up, guys, gals, ladies, friends, because this has been quite a test of everyone's patience, and I'm so excited to rewatch this to hear what you all said, honestly, and I'm so glad. Thank you so much for taking it over when I couldn't be here, and I appreciate your patience with the technical difficulties. For anybody watching, I'm going to do this again next month, and my guests are going to be Barbara Nesbitt, Randy Driscoll.
It's very robotic on my end.
And my third guest will be Carla Cordero. So I hope you all will tune in. It's September 17th, 6 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/Puna Press Live with underscores between Puna Press and Live. So thank you, Alaana, Skyler, and Lindsay. Skyler, I'm very sorry for your loss of your Nana. May she rest in peace. And thank you all so much for being here. And have a great night.
Love you, Lizzie.
Hey, Lizzie.
I love you. Yeah.
Will you also send like an email or post somewhere, like where our website and that information on some of the projects?
Yes. Absolutely, I will.
Dope.
I had it all set up, and I just couldn't make it happen tonight.
Girl, you got
but yes, I will.
It's gonna get done. That's not the stress, because I'm not concerned. Okay, I'm not concerned about that, because I know modern women on this call, we get things done. That's what this call is about.
Yeah.
Just wondering when, so
That's
I know
right.
where to look, because I don't know what day of the week it is.
Yep, I'll put it up on Facebook on all the places.
Okay, dope. Thank you.
And I'll tag you all.
Love you.
Okay. Bye. Love you.
Are we
Bye.
leaving?